Right, let's now look at the date classes in Java, date classes in Java. We are going to be using the classes which are defined in Java 8. If you are using earlier versions, you will not be able to use the classes that we are going to cover. So my assumption is that we are all using Java 8. If you are not using Java 8, then you will not be able to use the classes which we are going to be using. Right, so for you to we have looked at different types of data or different data types, string, int, and so on. What if you want to store a date as a value in a variable, or you want to create a date object and then manipulate it? We have got some classes which are defined in Java 8. So we have got a class which is called local date. Right, this local date is not in the standard java.lang package. Right, so we need to import it. It's in the java.time package. It is in the java.time package. And if we want to create a date object, we don't instantiate the local date class. We don't instantiate the local date class. We call this static method, the now method. If we want to create a date and then initialize it to the current date. We want to create a date and then we initialize it to the current date. So system.out.println, if I say LD like that and then I save, it prints today's date. It prints today's date. Right? So it will just use the date which is on your machine or your system. Right? But if you want to initialize it to a specific date, maybe 1 January 2013 or whatever date, you use off, a method which is called off, and then you pass what? You pass the arguments, that is the year, the month, and then the what? The day. Right? So if you want to initialize it to a specific date, we use off, and those are the various types of arguments that you can pass. We can have int year, int month, int day of month. Then we can have int year, month. Then we can have int day. Then we have got other where we have got int year, int day of what? Day of year. That's another way of initializing. But I think maybe we can just use the first two. Those are the ones that we are more familiar with, or that we normally use. Right, so I can say off, then I specify the year, like maybe 2012 or 2013 or whatever date, 2014. Then I specify the month, maybe 10, then the day, maybe 1. Sorry. Right, like that. So if I print now, I get what? I get that date. So you can use dot off, then you specify the date. The month, it can be specified as either an integer or it can be specified as a month like January, February, March, April, May, June, July, and so on. So how do you specify? 10 is what? 10 is October, right? So you can say month, instead of putting 10 there, you can say month dot what? Dot October. Month dot October. Right, like that. Month dot October. If I print, I get a date, like I get output like what? Like that. To just convert it to what? To the same what? Same output. Right. What are some of the methods which are defined in this local date what? Local date class? I can say LD dot plus, if I want to advance the date, plus days, minus days, minus weeks, and so on, right? So you can actually advance a date by weeks, advance a date by days, a certain number of days, right? Or you also have maybe the compare to the equals, the get day of month, you get day of year, get month value, get year, and so on. These are some of the methods that you can just call. So I can actually say dot get a weekday. We have this method. Dot supposed to be day of. I want to extract the we have got the get day of month, day of year, get month value, get year, then get day of week. That's the method that I was looking for. Get day of week. Right, we want to know what was the day of the week on 1 October 2014. So you can actually get that answer that it was on a Wednesday. It was on a Wednesday. Right. You can get what? You can get the year. You can get the year. LD dot get year. So it will extract the year part from that what? From that date. You can say get day of month. Then it's supposed to return what? Supposed to return 1. Then if you want to get the month, you can say get a month as an integer like that. Then it will return what? It will return so not day of month, get month, not get month value, right? Then you get what? You get that as a month value, and so on. So we have quite a number of methods that you can actually use. Right, so what I would want you to do is give you the tutorial question for the next tutorial after the one that we are going to have next week, where you need to just write a program which will generate a calendar using the date what? Date the local date. We have got local date, local time, we have local date time, These are the other classes. So if you want a date with a time, you can use local date what? Time. If you want time only, use local time. If you want date only, use local date. So these are the other two methods, local time and local date time. You can actually use them in more or less the same way I've been using that local date. Right, so maybe I don't know if I will be able to finish. Maybe I just want to demonstrate how you can maybe create maybe the calendar for maybe the first month. Then you can maybe just develop the program so that you generate the calendar for the whole year. Right. So for us to have maybe a calendar, we need maybe that header where we have maybe the days of week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So you can maybe just start by having a print line statement. You can have maybe a print line statement where you can maybe just say Monday. Then you need to separate them maybe with the tabs. Then Tuesday. Then you have a tab space. Then you have Wednesday. Then a tab space. Then Thursday. Then you have another tab space. Then Friday. Then you have a tab space. Then we have Saturday. You don't need a tab space. That's the last one. So if we didn't we start, I should have started with Sunday because usually our calendars start right. I think there's an error somewhere between Thursday and Friday. Okay, here we're supposed to say /t like that, and even here I think there's also another error. So you're supposed to have something like that. So if I run, this is what I get. I now have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right? So what I now want to do is I now want to print the days, right? And I want to print the days. So what I can do is I'm going to maybe do it in stages. If I just say system.out println ld dot get what? Get we want the day here of month. That is what we want to print. Are we together? So we can say println get day of month, right? If we do this, it is going to print only the first one, the first day one. If we repeat it, it will print the second day, but so it will print the same one, the same day. We need a way of advancing the date, or adding one to the to the current date. Then after that we print. So as you can see, we need a looping construct of of some kind here. We need a looping construct of some kind. Are we together? Right. So I can maybe use a while loop. I can use, if I just print here, it's going to print only the first the first day under under Sunday, like that, right? But we are saying we need to advance the date, and then we print, advance print, advance print, advance print, until we get to the end of the month. How do we know if we have maybe reached the end of the month? The month changes. The current month is 10, right? If we have reached the end of month, the next month will be what? Because we are advancing our dates, the next month will now be what? 11. So we say while month is equal to what? The current month. We continue, right? So we might need to declare a variable here to extract the current the current month. So we said ld dot get We want the month. So we get the month. Right. We can either use a get month or get a month value. Right, I'm going to use a get month value here, which is an integer. So I need to declare an integer here and then maybe call it a month. Then I assign it to that. Right. So it is going to fetch the month of the current date, LD, and then store it in this variable. Right. Then after that, this statement I will have to put it in a loop. Let me leave it like that for now, and then I define my loop. Right. Then I say while what? While month is equal to LD dot get what? Month value. This one. You see? We are saying while month is equal to LD dot get what? Get month value. Then we have our what? We have our block. Then I copy that statement, cut rather, and then I add it there. Then after that, so I print the current day. After printing the current day, I have to advance the day by 1. I have to advance the day by 1. So I simply say LD dot plus days plus days. Here I just want to add 1 day, like that. But as you can see, we have a problem here. One of the problems is that if I say print line inside here, it is going to print each day on a what? On a separate line. This is not what we want. Again, if we say print, it is going to print all the dates on one line. Let me just maybe demonstrate this. Oh, this is not what we... Yeah. This is what is it called? An infinite loop. We are supposed to say LD is equal to LD dot plus days 1. Right, so we now have those dates like that. We now have those dates 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's still running. Let me try to stop that. Don't know whether it's going to stop. Because I had actually created an infinite loop. Right, we are supposed to say LD is equal to LD dot plus days what? Days 1. Right, so that we have maybe something like what? Like this. We have got those what? Those are dates 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 up to 31. We need to separate these with what? With a tab space here. So I can just say plus /t. Right, that's the first thing. If I do that and then run, I now have something like that. They are now separated with tab spaces. But the program can't tell that we have reached the end of week, so we are supposed to maybe go to the next line. How do we resolve that? If statement, what can we say here? If what? Yes? If LD dot Day of week. Is equal to Saturday. That's a enumerated constant. I think we can use this one. Let me just try. I think we can use, because Saturday is not it's not no. The month, that's when we can use, maybe that's when we can use for the month, that's when we can use maybe what is the data type of dot get day? I just want to day of week. It returns a day of week. It returns a day of week. So we can say equals just want to check the equals day of week dot Saturday. Well, this is an enumerated constant. So with the enumerated constants, I'm sure we can actually use that equality operator, the double equal sign. So what are we saying here? If day of week is equal to Saturday, we just want to go to the next line, right? Right. So after that change, let's run, and I think we are now left with only one problem. We are almost there. We are left with one problem. How do we solve that problem? The problem is with the, what can I call it? Misalignment. Because what's our date? 1 October 2014. 1 October 2014 was not a Sunday. 1 October 2014 was not a Sunday. It was Tuesday, Wednesday. It was Wednesday, and it was Wednesday. How do you tell? How do you tell? You can just say what? LD dot get what? Weekday and it. Day of what? Day of week. Then we get what? Then we get the correct what? The correct value. So here we are told that it's what? It was Wednesday. So if it was Wednesday, what that means is we need to push maybe those dates 3 places to the right, right? We need to move them 3 places to the right. Say that one becomes under Wednesday. Then everything else will be in place. So how do we do that? We can do that outside the loop here. Since it's almost time up, let me just demonstrate that. So how do we push? We can just have 3 tape spaces. /t, /t, /t like that. I'm sure this is going to sorry, print, not print line. Print instead of print line. Right. So I now have my calendar. There's a problem. So I need to move it 4 places, not 3. Are you sure one was Was Wednesday. Huh? Why 1 October 2014? It was Wednesday. I think there's a problem somewhere in our. Here in the while loop, that's where we have a problem. It was Wednesday. Huh? Right, so if it was Wednesday, maybe the problem is here. Where we are saying if day of week is equal to Saturday. What are we supposed to do here? We are supposed to print first before we what? We need to print the date before we create a new line. Are we together? Or where can we put this statement? Maybe it's the first statement in our loop. Maybe here. As the very first statement, such that the moment it's right, then when we are printing now, we use or what I can do is I can copy these statements and put them in the what? In this loop. Right, like this. Right, then here I put a print line. This is now correct, right? Logically, it might not combine, but logically it's making sense, eh? Because we are saying day of week is Saturday. It's supposed to print that date, and then here we know we don't need any. If it's Saturday, we don't need any tab space, right? Then after printing, it's supposed to go to the next line. Then it updates the date. Is there any problem with that? What's the problem? Huh? Ninga open number 2. I think it's working. How did print my Saturday's got 2? It's not possible. It's not possible because the moment the day of week is what is Saturday, it is going to execute that block. Otherwise, it will execute what? This. Huh? Maybe, yeah? That's the output. Unless if it's wrong. Or if it's skipping some dates, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Maybe you might need to put an else here. Then you put those 2 statements inside an else. So that if date is this, then that. So that's the tutorial question for the next what? Next, I will actually properly design the question and then post it on Tsime. So you should be in a position to print the calendar for the whole what? Whole year. Why did we what? We are calling a static method. I think I indicated that we have 2 types of methods in Java, static methods and non-static methods. If you are calling a static method, you just use the name of the class and then invoke the what? Then you invoke the method. But if it's non-static, you create an object, then you call the method. Is there still any problem with that code? I'm not getting you.
put the if clause, if we put it beneath the statements beneath, if we then put it beneath system dot out line.
We are saying if you put the if, the whole if or the beneath. Would that work? Right, we remove this. We remove this. Isn't this what we had before? Order. Are you sure this will give us the correct output? The taste of pudding is what in eating, so we are still having a problem with that. I think that was I think this is working. Maybe you can play around with it to maybe minimize the number of lines of our code, because obviously here we are duplicating. For example, this one. We can maybe put it outside. We can put it outside the loop. Maybe if we put an else here, then we have this statement inside the else, and then we delete that. Say that we leave it like that. I think this will also work. This will also work, but I think it's a time up. We can maybe stop here. I think we are done.